Hey everyone, I'm here to explain something that is changing a little bit on the channel. So I guess this is just a general update. I'll keep this pinned as the kind of returning spotlight video for a while. But um, YouTube, over the years we've kind of learned a little bit about how YouTube works and mainly how it how it makes or breaks the growth of a channel. And doing a little bit of research recently and looking into other channels and how YouTube kind of like has the success and the numbers kind of roll over and roll up for for related videos and things like that. One of the things that's became clear is that the YouTube algorithm, the dreaded algorithm that we're all beholden to, is not very fond of different types of content on one channel. It's not it's not. There's very few channels that seem to have good success with that. It seems to hinder, unless your audience happens to like everything you put out equally. Um, the videos that don't get viewed as much drag down the ones that do get viewed, and the growth is kind of hampered because then it doesn't hit the algorithm the right way, and then it doesn't go on to more people. And what's funny is what we're about to do is actually something that we've kind of done in the past. A long time ago, there was actually a separation where we had this channel was all the TV review content, and then there was another channel where all the movie review content went. And that was stopped because the TV channel was growing quicker than the movie one. The movie one was still growing, but the TV one was definitely growing at a bigger rate. And what's funny is looking back in this now, it's actually just kind of proving what I've kind of been doing research into, is that it does help a channel if the content is more focused and more closely into one taste. And the truth is looking back on it, not only was the TV channel growing better than the movie channel, but in truth, the channel has never grown better. This main channel, has never grown better than since before we integrated the movie and TV together. And it wasn't like it just dropped off overnight or anything like that, but looking back, all of that great growth came before we mixed the movies and TV stuff back together. So because of that, we will once again be separating those things out, and also comics. It just so happens that we already have a Comics from the Multiverse channel that's separate anyway, which has largely just existed to start splitting up the podcast into individual reviews so that we can put them into playlists and things like that, and people can find them years later and just, listen or watch all the Green Lantern reviews from a particular series. They don't have to wade through all the episodes to find them, which is a cool idea. So the only real change there is that the main full Comics from the Multiverse podcast episode is moving over to that channel. It'll be on both today, because today's the day it goes out. There'll be a message at the start of that podcast as well to sort of direct people to the other channel for future episodes. So that one's quite simple. It's fairly easy. I don't really have plans to repost the old episodes there, mainly because they're all going up anyway, cut up. So it's not a huge deal. This channel will still host all the old episodes. You'll still be able to find all the old ones here, but going forward, they won't be posted here starting next week. Now, the movie stuff is a bit more interesting, and I was even tempted to go further with this. I was tempted to go even more specific and just have a horror channel with just streams after midnight and occasionally some other things that would supplement it, like maybe the odd top 10 or something like that. And then one for sci-fi, which would be Atomic Cinema Experiment, and the occasional, again, top 10 or something just to add to it. There'd be much less content going up on a regular basis, obviously. There would be like one or two things a week. And that'd be it, because it wouldn't be mixed in with all the other stuff. And while there's arguments that, consistent content going out is a good thing as well, the idea that anyone who watches an Ace episode is interested in another one is very important. And the reason why I'm not doing that, at least right now, is because ultimately I still have to earn revenue on the content going out. And I only have one kind of separate channel that's also meeting the requirements to earn money. It was for a while called Mail Fuzz Live. Obviously, that is now changing. It is now Mail Fuzz Movies. The logo is very similar to this one, but it says movies and it's blue. Fully straightforward. There'll be links to these in the description, of course. There'll be links in the main page. There's links on the side bit. It'll be very easy to navigate between the channels. And obviously, if you are into Screams After Midnight or the Atomic Cinema Experiment, obviously I highly encourage you to go and subscribe to the movie channel, where new episodes will be going up. Now, the thing that's different about the comics here with this movie stuff is that I will actually be slowly republishing the episodes that are on this channel. And that'll take a long time, especially for Screams. And the reason for that is basically to give them a chance to actually help each other. One of the things that, like I'm saying, like content being related to other content that's of interest to the same person is very important for the growth of the channel. So while I can put the playlist from this channel onto the movie channel and have it sort of linked back, it won't actually benefit the new channel very much to do that. Obviously, I'll have it set up like that to begin with so that the content is still there, everyone can access it. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything, but over time, to replace the vast majority, if not all of the episodes, re-uploaded onto the movie-specific channel. And it's a little bit cumbersome, and it's a little bit ironic to me that I'm doing this now again, because it was something we kind of did a long time ago and then changed our minds and went back on it. And the reason why I'm changing my mind again is because now that I look back at the growth of the channel before and after that, and I look at like how things have went in the last couple of years, and I look at what other people are saying on YouTube, and I look at other people talking about their channels and talking about how having a very different piece of content can affect things, I think it's probably the wise idea. It's probably the wise idea for this one to return to mainly just being the TV content, and there being a separate movie channel. And that was actually one of the other reasons, of course, why I didn't split horror and sci-fi, is because it would kind of leave the non-horror and sci-fi, as much as it's mostly Ace and Screams that it gets done right now movie-wise. Every so often there is non-horror and sci-fi movie stuff, and there's always the chance that there'll be more of it in greater quantity at some point in the future. And I don't necessarily think a third dedicated movie channel for non-horror and sci-fi, like what would you even say that focuses on? Just cinema, I guess, but not horror and sci-fi, because there's dedicated places for those. So it gets a little confusing. It gets a little bit thing. I mean, horror and sci-fi do kind of go well enough together. They're not super alien to each other, no pun intended. So that's not a bad place to start. Is it possible that one day I'll want to split them up? I mean, I should admittedly, the longer that goes, the less you'd want to split them up, because there will be so much content piling up on that channel that it would be kind of ridiculous. But I did consider Male Fuzz Sci-Fi and Male Fuzz Horror, and just sort of but then there's also a balancing of like how much content is going on those channels. With those together, then it's a bit more. So it's a few things per week versus one thing per week. So plus other movie stuff gets to live there too when it does happen. So like superhero movie reviews, things like that. So it still makes sense, I think, for those reasons, to just have a movies channel. But it was considered. So that's what's happening. TV channel, the TV reviews as they are. Nothing's changing. I obviously hope that everyone who enjoys the content and watches regularly does want to go and subscribe to at least the movie channel. I get that comics is a bit more specific, and only certain the comic fandom will want to be into that, get into that. But make sure you go subscribe. It would help out a lot if you do. And this isn't splitting up anything else. The Patreon, still one Patreon for everything. All the audio feeds that exist still exist as they are. Nothing else is changing. It's just the YouTube splitting between movies and TV and comics as well, I suppose. But the only thing that was comics related was the one podcast, and that's just moving to the channel that's already been there for about a year. So that's what's happening. If there's any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Like I say, I'll have links to both the channels in the description right at the top. That'll be the only thing in the description, just to make it nice and simple. And it'll be easy enough to find these things. So you'll see maybe some transitioning going over. I actually already posted the first ever episode of the Ace on the movie channel. I just did that at the time of recording, so that was earlier today. By the time this goes up, I assume. So starting to that. So maybe it's like a reason to go watch the episodes again and give them a like and let them play and let those numbers rise on the other channel. But regardless, you'll find new episodes going up there. I might like the next episodes of Streams and Ace. I might also put on this channel still, and just with a message at the start, much like I'm doing with the comics podcast, just to sort of anyone who misses this and misses us saying it on Twitter and misses all the other signs saying things are moving here. Maybe I'll put up one more episode of each with a message like this at the start saying, "Hey, it's moving. Go here. Enjoy, please. Sorry for the inconvenience, obviously." Because this is all about YouTube. This is about YouTube's system. It's about how YouTube lets videos feed off of each other, and it doesn't like different types of content on the same channel. So it is what it is. And and given that I like to dabble and try and do more edited stuff and things like that, it does make me wonder, like, is that better off on a new channel where only edited stuff will feed into more edited stuff? Because the people who like edited stuff won't necessarily like podcasts and just sort of vlog style sitting and sort of thinking about what I've watched or whatever. So yeah. So hopefully that doesn't sound like too much of a pain. Apologies if it is a inconvenience to have another channel subscribed to. And if you are already subscribed to Male Fuzz Movies, which used to be called Male Fuzz Live, and you're probably wondering, what does that mean for the live content? Is the live content still going to be on that channel? I actually don't have a straight answer for that. I can tell you right away that video game streams are probably not going to be there, for sure. They're definitely not going to be there. Those will probably have to live on Twitch going forward, just because it's not worth how much it interferes with the analytics and the YouTube algorithm. The watch party stuff, though, is a bit more interesting. The watch party stuff probably could live elsewhere. Could probably still live in the movie channel, although again the numbers will probably still hurt the rest of the content. So it might move to another channel. There might be a new Male Fuzz Live. That's oh no, I can't. No, because YouTube. Yeah, you have to have over a threshold, don't you, to be able to live stream? I guess it will still be there. But well, yeah, we'll talk about options. We'll talk about options in future live streams for the live stream audience, which is a fairly small amount of you. But yeah. So, and if you ever joined a live stream and this is the first you're hearing about it, occasionally we do watch party stuff. We'll sit and sync up a movie, and usually a bad movie, if we're honest. I don't want to experience the new Christopher Nolan film with people in chat and me cracking jokes, but a cheesy, stupid movie from the 80s with a rubber monster. Yeah, sure. But hey, that is it. That's the update. I just wanted to sort of inform everyone of this and make it obvious what is happening. And like I say, any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the comments. And sorry again if this is inconvenient to anyone, but please do go subscribe to Male Fuzz Movies. I love you loads, and I will see you next time.